Hey everybody, quick thumbs up if anybody can hear me. Just testing the mic, 1, 2, 3. Quick, I assume it's working. There it is, a thumbs up. Thank you so much everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. It's been an interesting day in the market, extremely positive. And I'm just going to do a quick roundup of all the news that I see today. So, as usual, let's jump right in and not waste any time. Math, money, freedom. You guys know the drill already. Thank you for being here. And this is edutainment, not investment advice. Although there's some interesting news in here that we can all use. So let's jump in and talk about some interesting things that I found today. As you guys know, I couldn't be more bullish on Bitcoin. And this is a super interesting chart that talks about Bitcoin adoption. Now you've heard me before. I'm going to zoom out for a second. I always talk about the fact that we are early. We are the early adopters in this space. Less than 1.5% of the world's population has actually jumped into Bitcoin. But this chart here shows you the adoption rates of the internet versus Bitcoin itself. So it took 7.5 years for the internet adoption to go from 130 million to 1 billion. And according to Mr. Levin, he anticipates that it took us 12 years to get to 135 million users for Bitcoin. And that's a pretty good number. It's one of the better numbers I've seen. Some people say 200 billion, 150 million, but 135 million is around where I'm at. And it's projected to be 1 billion users of Bitcoin by the year 2025. So we're going to go nearly 10x in 4 years. And that is twice as fast as internet adoption, everybody. Think about that. What will we be in 2030? Anybody want to hazard a guess? Well, we double every 1 to 2 years. So we'll go to 1 billion and we should be at 2 billion by the year 2027 and 4 billion by the year 2030. So it is incredible. Now, Willy Woo also made a similar forecast, and both agree that they believe we will hit that billion number, which is huge. Again, the more adoption, the more network effect, the more power that this network has. So it's cool. In other cool news, this is the third wealthiest man in Mexico. His name is Ricardo Salinas, and he basically has decided to put 10% of his wealth in Bitcoin, which is $1 billion on top of his existing money he has in there. And the interesting thing, the reason I'm sharing this is he has always been an advocate for Bitcoin, but he posted on Twitter saying that paper money is worthless. And the best thing you can do is put your money in Bitcoin. And again, third richest man in Mexico, what does he know that we don't? Now, I just want to touch on the point that you have all these countries in Central and Latin America, El Salvador, Paraguay, Mexico, Argentina, Brazil. It's all beginning to topple, which is great. So let's jump a little bit further. Let's talk about Cathie Wood buying the dip. I know many of you out there bought the dip, so congratulations. But Cathie Wood went in big. She bought over 1 million shares of Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, over $30 million. And is she worried about, Bitcoin? And her analysts always know exactly when the dip is there, and they went in big a few days ago. So for those of you who are concerned about Grayscale Bitcoin Trust and conversion to an ETF and everything else, this is a vote of approval from Cathie Wood, probably one of the smartest investors of our time, that it's good to go. So despite the big sell-off, it was a great bottom feed, I think, on her behalf. And I think Cathie Wood's funds have outperformed all other investments since 2014. They had a bumpy spell in beginning of Q2 this year, but all of those stocks are coming back. And at the end of this, I'll talk about some of the stocks as well that we both like. And so anyway, Bitcoin is good. She's buying the dip. Well done, Cathie. Let's jump on a little bit further. Speaking of dips, this was a super interesting chart that I wanted to share with you all. And this comes from Bloomberg Intelligence, a guy called Mike McGlone. I've spoken about him on the channel a few times. He's a very objective guy, very calculating, cool, calm, collected. And he compares the $30,000 mark, which we were at a few days ago, with the 4,000 mark in 2019 and 2020. That kind of double dip. The second 2020 dip to 4,000 was during the C19 crash. And basically, he thinks there's a lot of similarities between where we are now. Now, he doesn't believe we're going to correct below 30,000. but he thinks it is a very strong, solid support level, like the way I analyzed my triple bottom at 30K. We did breach that, but we only breached it for 80 minutes. So far that theory is still good. And in fact, somebody wrote an article in Medium about my triple bottom thesis. So I know there's a lot of haters out there about the triple bottom saying it's stupid, but it works and it's being picked up. Anyway, Mike McGlone thinks we are in for a much more enduring bull market as we go forward. So again, get that dip, everybody. This is an opportunity, I believe, not investment advice, but a good time to go and grab some. Now, a lot of charts today, sorry about this, but I think they all tell great stories and they're all very bullish. This one I saw courtesy of Bitcoin's Avenue, and it's kind of like a combination between Elliot waves and Wyckoff distribution and all mixed together. But it actually resonated with me because I drew something similar, but probably not as good as this. And you can see it's kind of like that megaphone on the bottom right corner where we are kind of hitting that support level, the purple line, which is very similar to what I call my triple bottom, and bouncing upwards from there. So the question is, I think when we look at this chart very carefully, the real question is can we penetrate that 41,460 level, which we've failed at a few times before? That is the new resistance level. We need to get above the 41.4, and once we do, off to the races again. So fingers crossed for that. Right now we're struggling a bit at the 35K level, but soon we should be bouncing upwards. Now, let's talk about some entertainment. And again, we are edutainment here, and this guy is pure entertainment. Here we are, Jim Cramer, love him or hate him. He's like warning people to sell your Bitcoin. It's time to sell your Bitcoin. So he's a guy who sold his Bitcoin too early the first time and claims to be this professional investment. But again, everybody, please be careful of the entertainers and taking investment advice from them. Now, the reason he said it's time to sell your Bitcoin, and I try and be fair and balanced here, although I'm a little bit more bullish than anybody else because of everything that I know and everything that I see. But he listed 3 reasons why he believes everybody should sell their Bitcoin, and that's why he sold his. 1, China crackdowns, which he believes will begin and continue on. Number 2, the integrity of Tether, the stablecoin. Yeah, there's some smoke there, but the smoke's been there for 3 years. And yeah, if it blows up, I think the worst case scenario will be a 15% hit for Bitcoin. And finally, he talks about ransomware attacks, you know, the millions of dollars that have been collected in ransomware attacks for Bitcoin. What about all the ransomware attacks in the history of the world for fiat currency and for gold and diamonds and everything else? It's like such a weak argument. Anyway, kind of silly news, but that's why he's selling his Bitcoin and warns everybody to sell their Bitcoin. So I'm saying don't listen to Jim Cramer, okay? Listen to the smarter people. So I actually zoom out for a second. If you had to take financial advice from Cathie Wood or Jim Cramer, who would you listen to? How about Tim Draper, Ray Dalio, Mike McGlone from Bloomberg, all these people? So again, entertainers versus real pros. Just be careful who you follow and who you listen to, and don't make decisions based on silly information. So a quick piece of news here as well. One of the things that Jim Cramer was worried about China shutting down, but the move away from China is actually good. And this is a very nice energy source per region map. And it shows you that a huge amount of coal is used to generate electricity in Asia Pacific, 65% in fact. So, and this is the share of the hashers, share of the hash rate. Now, if the miners basically move anywhere else on Earth outside of Asia Pac, you will see the coal use in Europe is 20% and the coal use in the US is 28%. In Latin America, it's 0. And look at the hydroelectric power. Although they have a lot in China, they also have a lot in Europe and even more in Latin America and the Caribbean. And North America is 61%, but where North America wins the natural gas, which is also kind of clean. Anyway, that's some good news there. But the point is, we're getting greener. The miners moving out of China is extremely good news, and that's some environmental ESG data to back it up. Now, China, considering we're on the subject of China, China is actually extremely bullish on crypto. No doubt about it. They love crypto. But what they want is their own version. They want to put their brand on it. They want it closed. They want it permission-based. They want it tightly controlled. They don't want what Bitcoin is, which is permissionless and open. They want the complete opposite. but a crypto version. And what Andreessen Horowitz partner said was just on the money. China's all in on crypto, but they're creating their own version. And you see CBDCs now, they're going to flourish and explode all over the world. And I think that will be a huge boon to Bitcoin, because who wants their government controlling their wallet? And again, the example I gave the other day, imagine you get a speeding ticket, $500 fine. The cop can press a button, that money will be taken out of your wallet. You've got no chance to defend yourself in court. Or imagine you say something bad against the president of a country. They don't even have to throw you in jail anymore. They can just press a button and take all your money as punishment. So who wants that? If you do, please write a comment in the comments below. Anyway, China's all in on crypto. Good news. Now, Paraguay, as they call the Domino number 2, as I refer to it, they are submitting their Bitcoin bill. In fact, they're doing it as we speak, and I'm not able to find out the exact results, but I think they will make Bitcoin legal, just like El Salvador. Now, Paraguay is 30% larger than El Salvador. The population of El Salvador, I think, is about 6.5 million. The population of Paraguay is about 7.5 million. So they're very, very similar. The economies are very similar, their GDPs, etc. So we'll see if this happens. And there's talk of many others in the pipe to follow too. So it's all happening. All roads lead to Bitcoin. Now, some people are concerned about the options expiry tomorrow. This one should give everybody some pause. So here, per this map, you see there's more calls than puts, which is a bullish sign. Most of the calls are hovering around the $40,000 strike level. The puts are hovering around the $29,000 strike level. So basically, the guys that buy the call options will win if Bitcoin's above 40,000. And those that place the bets on the puts, it'll be around 39,000. You notice as well the price right now of nearly 35,000 is right in between both. And that's typically by design. That's how these options are priced. It's designed to equal everything out. So the point is, roughly about 69,000 Bitcoin tomorrow are set to expire. And the notional value, I think, is about $2.5 billion. Not as big as some of the expiries in the past. So I don't expect a lot of volatility from this. I think it's going to be a typical nothing burger like normal. So don't worry too much about it. We'll see what happens. But I don't see Bitcoin going to 29K, and I don't see it going to 40K by tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. Just my thoughts. If it does go to 40K, somebody's going to make a lot of money. So good for them. Now, in other kind of news regarding Bitcoin and crypto adoption and everything else, Texas. Texas is the 9th largest economy in the world. It's larger than Brazil, Canada, and even Russia. And they've embraced Bitcoin fully, just like Miami has in Florida. Now there's somebody running for mayor in New York, and they want to copy the mayor of Miami as well. So this Bitcoin thing is really beginning to infect everybody. Everybody's getting excited by it. Now they're bringing in new laws in Texas, which will bring much more support to mining, give them lower energy, and really help Texas have a brighter future. There's a few interesting things there. One is Elon Musk is moving all of the Tesla headquarters to Texas as well. It's more friendly, less taxes in California. And if you look at California, speaking of California, California is the 5th biggest country in the world. And, Texas is number 9, California is number 5. I think it's number 5 after US, China, Japan, and Germany. That's a huge place. So I wish the governor of California could get his act together. Maybe he could save his seat if he became crypto friendly like the other governors in the other big states. That'd be a good one. So Gavin, give me a call. Let me know. I used to go to your restaurant back in the day. Anyway, Bitcoin and gold. Another kind of funny news. this I thought it was so funny. This guy Farley, who used to run, I can't remember, I think it was the New York Stock Exchange president in the past or something. And he said he doesn't see Bitcoin exceeding gold valuation, which is $500,000 a Bitcoin, until or unless Bitcoin behaves as a currency. So I get tripped up here a little bit. First of all, gold is not a currency. So why does Bitcoin have to be a currency? Does it have to beat it on it already beats it in every single comparison to gold anyway. And so we'll see what happens. But so I think what Farley's trying to say is, in order for Bitcoin to exceed gold, Bitcoin has to exceed gold. So it's like listening to a politician in Europe, Lagarde. She gave a speech today about Bitcoin in El Salvador, and she spoke for a few minutes and said nothing. So sometimes people say nothing. So ignore that. Not important. Now, this is another piece, and I'm getting really upset with the way journalists really try and scare and spook people. And this is the headline for the article. JP Morgan survey. 49% of institutional investors agree cryptocurrency is rat poison, as Warren Buffett says, or a fad. Okay? Technically, that is correct. But let's look at the data. And let's dig a little bit deeper and get to the heart of this problem. So 1,500 investors, yes, they were surveyed. 33%, one-third, said probably rat poison. Okay. And these are kind of like investment advisors. They're not cutting edge. They're not early adopters. 16% say it's temporary fad. But what they didn't mention in the article is 42%, which is much bigger than 33%, said it's here to stay. And 9% said it's going to become a very important asset. So add 9% plus 42%, you get 51%, which is the majority. And again, bad news. Ignore that. But that's positive because JP Morgan want to rattle the markets. They say, well, 49% think it's rat poison just to scare the Bitcoin loose so they can buy it up. Anyway, forget about that too. But I just want to share it so people aren't concerned. Sometimes I get these articles from people and there's no reason to be concerned. Now this did get me a little bit concerned. So I was always a little bit wary of kind of lending platforms that have a huge amount of marketing behind them, like BlockFi. But this came up from Celsius. Now, Celsius work in conjunction with a bank that manages the deposits. They are called, I think, Custodian Prime Trust. Now, what they said was they are going to stop working with Celsius because they're concerned around a thing called rehypothecation. Now, what this basically means, first of all, Celsius, they operate like a bank, like everybody else. They take deposits of cryptocurrencies from one customer and they lend the crypto to another and they charge a fee. Now, the borrowers pledge other crypto assets as collateral. And since March 2020, these two have been working together. I think they're Nevada-based, Prime Trust, to store assets for some of its customers. But the risk team at Prime Trust were concerned that Celsius is endlessly rehypothecating assets. And for those who don't know, rehypothecation is a very dodgy game. So I'm going to shut this down and make sure you guys can see me. So this is the practice where banks and brokers and other people that have collateral from others, they can use that collateral for other types of purposes. So they can repurpose the collateral that's deposited and committed to a certain type of activity. And that is a very, very dangerous situation if it's abused. And so we'll see if this is true or not. But Celsius did respond and said, never have they ever rehypothecated any assets, any crypto assets on behalf of clients. And it's funny because just a couple of days ago, I did say that Alex Mashinsky, the CEO of Celsius, is probably one of the most trustworthy guys. I hope I'm not wrong. But again, where there's smoke, there's fire, and I hope this trust organization is just overly concerned over nothing, but that could be an issue. And I do dread the day that one of these organizations blows up because they've been doing some shady things. So fingers crossed for Tether, fingers crossed for Celsius, fingers crossed for Binance. Hope they're all okay, and hope it's just smoke and there is no fire. Now, another kind of news, it's funny, I've been asked to analyze Monero for a long time, but never did. But Monero XMR has been infected the software has infected mining companies for a long time. The malware is called Krakenosh. It was found in over, I think, 250,000 computers, and the virus has been circulating since middle of 2018, and it has pulled in a yield in millions of dollars from these miners worth more than 2 million and running for so long. So the point is kind of interesting. Monero is a privacy coin. And apparently it's often used by cyber criminals because it's much more difficult to trace than Bitcoin, which is easy to trace. So the FUD that people like Jim Cramer are using is fake. He should be going after Monero, if anything at all. But Monero focused on crypto mining attacks is relatively common. So just be careful if you are a Monero miner, and this could have a little impact on the actual Monero itself. So quick piece here on stocks on fire. We've had a kind of a quiet say 6 to 8 weeks for some stocks, but just over the last couple of days, many have exploded, many that we watch. Things like the trade desk here, Tesla blew up, CRISPR has been on fire, NVTA at last has been on fire. So a lot of these names are actually big names that are very much liked as well by Cathie Wood. So we'll see what happens. And a lot of the fuel to the stock market has also been supported by Joe Biden, the president of the US, infrastructure deal. So a lot more money printing is going to happen, and that's going to help the stock market. Again, more money in the system floats all boats. So I think that's it. I'm going to open this up to Q&A. Big thank you to everybody for being here. I'm going to pull up some questions right now and hope everybody's doing just fine and dandy. Now there's a cool way of pulling up these questions if I can find them. Let me see. I don't know where they are. Oh, here. Yes. I found them. So I can actually highlight a question. Like I can go like this. I'll pop it up, I think. Yeah. Hey, James. Handless 26. Hey, James, appreciate your work. What do you think about Bitcoin maximalism? So I used to be one, 2017, 2018, 2019, until I bought my first Ethereum in early 2020 for about $200. And I bought a lot. I wish I bought more. It was so cheap. But there are Bitcoin maximalists, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't care if people are gold maximalists or Tesla maximalists. And you get everything out there. But I believe in the world works in cycles. And you need to be on the right train at the right time. And sometimes many trains leave the station. And just coincidentally, earlier today, we were sharing some results on Patreon. I do trade alerts, and one of them did really, really well. And that was the trade desk, getting in on a call option, selling a put, and all sorts of cool stuff. So sometimes stock market can do incredibly well. So that's the big takeaway here, but crypto can do well too. But if you use options correctly for certain hot equities, you can make a lot more money than you ever could with crypto. So I'm going to try and pull up the questions. So that was one I pulled up, but it's very hard to see all of the ones that are coming in. Did I kill this? Yes, here we are. Now, thank you so much. I got something from Sweden. I'm trying to do these early as possible so we can cover a lot of the European audience. Big thank you there. So, Sweden, okay, AMC to the moon. So we have an AMC fan. Oh, look, they even have an AMC logo. Yeah, those meme stocks have been fun, and I've been watching them as well. So, do you have an echo? I may have had an echo for a minute. I hope I didn't miss any other super chats. So Marcus, hi James, what would it take for you to change your mind on Dogecoin? I need a use case other than money you'd use to buy a hot dog at a baseball game. So I don't understand it. Again, when things are pumped, I get very suspicious. When something has to be sold hard, I get very suspicious. And I just wish that Elon Musk never pumped it. It is interesting, but there's no real technology behind it, and I think it's a house of cards. I still have an echo. Whoops. Let me find out why that is. And why is there an echo? Hopefully there's no echo anymore. I'm betting on Doge. A lot of people are betting on Doge. I know somebody that has a few million Doge, and they did very well, but they got in at fractions of a penny. No echo. Good. Thank God. Thank you for letting me know. I get really concerned. In fact, there's two things in life I've discovered I'm really bad at: light and audio. But I have other skills, but I'd never make a sound engineer. Oh, I still have an echo. Crud. I don't know why that is. Let me. I'm going to just go carry on anyway, and hopefully it's not too bad. Exciting world cryptos. Starting trading with aiming for 1% profit, a good way to build up trade funds. It's better than as in putting 100 USDC in an aim for 1% each trade. No, I prefer to go for bigger trades with options and bigger bangs. If you are chipping away at 1% returns all the time, it doesn't make any sense. I did an option trade 6 weeks ago and within Patreon, and it's made over 500% in 6 weeks. So I prefer a 500% return in 6 weeks than 1% every trade, because I've also learned the more you trade. Yes, there's an echo. Oh, this is annoying. I'm going to try to do something. I'm going to try switch audio. Bear with me here 1 second, everybody. Bear with me here 1 second, everybody. I know what's wrong. Bear with me here 1 second, everybody. I know what's wrong. Bear with me here 1 second, everybody. I know what's wrong. Here 1 second, everybody. I know what's wrong. Oh, it's a really bad echo. Oh, it's really bad echo. This is crazy. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hopefully no echo. I'm gonna kill one thing here. Am I still echoing, everybody? Sorry about this. Must be very annoying. Okay. I don't know what is going on. All right. I'm gonna try one. This switching a mic. Let me see. Hopefully you guys, there's no more echo. Let me just check the chat. Sorry about this. Ecam live. Screen is good. Okay, here we are. Echo back. Still, yeah, guys, I'm sorry about the echo. I don't know what happened. There's some weird software bug. Okay, we're gonna have to just ice this, but thank you everybody for dialing in. I can't fix this echo. I've tried everything. It's a software bug, and somehow it is causing a problem. So you're open twice, but I don't know where I'm open twice. That's the problem. I'm gonna kill if I kill this. Testing now. Still echo? Oh, echo back. Okay, thanks all everybody. I'm sorry, software bug. Never happened before. Everybody be safe. Live TV, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny Halsey, thank you so much. Good night, everybody. I hope at least the first part wasn't echoey. And everybody take care, and we'll try again tomorrow. Bye.